Through the ages, rivers have carried people and goods over long distances. Even today, many countries depend heavily on their rivers to transport cargo, but India has yet to develop its considerable inland waterways potential. Carrying bulk goods on water is cheaper, more reliable and less polluting than by road or rail. However, most goods in India travel by congested road and rail networks that slow cargo movement and increase the cost of logistics. Until about 100 years ago, the Ganga too was a busy waterway, but with the coming of the railways, this watercourse fell into disuse. The Government of India is now reviving the Ganga Waterway to ferry cargo between the eastern seaport of Haldia and Varanasi, some 1,360 kilometers inland. This waterway has the potential to emerge as the logistics artery for northern India. The fertile Gangetic plains are India's most populous area. At present, 40% of India's traded goods either originate from this region or are destined for its teeming markets. However, only 10% of India's freight travels along this corridor. The rest takes roundabout routes, adding to the cost of goods. The Ganga Waterway will form part of a larger multimodal transport network. 6 cargo terminals will link the waterway with highways and a new rail freight corridor, enabling industries to switch seamlessly between different transport modes as they get their goods to markets in India and abroad. Farmers in this rich agricultural belt will also benefit, as the waterway opens up markets further afield. And as river traffic picks up, people living by the river will also have the option of travelling to their destination by boat. The aging Farakka lock, built some 40 years ago, will be modernized to allow for faster and smoother passage. At present, it takes up to 6 hours to make the crossing. A new state-of-the-art lock will also be added, which will speed up travel time. A new river information system will allow barge operators and cargo owners to track their vessels, locate available berths in terminals, and plan their logistics better. Navigation aids will help smoother movement on the river, especially at night time. Detailed protocols are also being laid down for dealing with emergencies, even oil spillage from boats. The revived Ganga Waterway will help spur economic activity in one of the poorest and most populous regions of India. The new cargo terminals can potentially evolve into thriving logistics hubs that provide jobs for thousands of people. Given the Ganga's enormous cultural and environmental value, many design options were analyzed, detailed studies and surveys conducted, and innumerable consultations held to find the least intrusive way of developing the waterway. The Ganga is a seasonal river that swells with the monsoon rains but recedes in the dry winters. These changing levels pose a challenge for large cargo barges that need a certain assured depth of water to sail in. The Ganga is also a braided river studded with shoals and islands that can disrupt navigation. Rather than extensively dredge the riverbed to remove silt, the Inland Waterways Authority of India chose to work with nature. A natural channel has been identified in the deepest part of the river for barges to sail in. The depth of this channel will vary according to the depth of the natural riverbed. Where there are large shoals, temporary structures made of natural materials like bamboo will channelize water flow. The river will be dredged only when absolutely unavoidable, and then using modern, less intrusive technologies to liquefy silt deposits and wash them away. In stretches where the natural depth is low, only specially designed flat-bottomed low-draft vessels will be allowed on the river. To protect critical species of aquatic animals and fish, no boat will travel through their habitat at more than 5 km per hour, and none will ply at night. All vessels will be required to install propeller guards and sound mufflers and will not be allowed to discharge effluents into the river. Dredging will of course be prohibited in such sensitive zones. To prevent further pollution in the Ganga, the barges will use cleaner fuels such as liquefied natural gas, and all cargo terminals and ship repair yards will be zero discharge facilities which will be powered by solar energy. Once the waterway is revived, India's iconic Ganga river will be able to take its place among the major navigational waterways of the world.